George Pickens has woken up the rankings here of the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's gone from plus 4,500 a month ago to plus 2,500 a week ago to now plus 750. I'm not making that bet. I'm not. I want somebody that I know is going to get the football, that I know is going to have opportunities. I don't know how many opportunities he's going to have with Najee Harris. And Chase Claypool.
Right.
And Deontay Johnson. And who's going to play quarterback? I think the guy's got the potential to be great, but I don't think that he's Offensive Rookie of the Year material. This is just people discovering the guy and making a bet at a time when the odds were low, and now they've driven the odds to the point where no one should take plus 750 odds for George Pickens. No way.
Yeah.
Where's Dameon Pierce? He's not on that screen, so he's lower than plus 1,300. I'd go Dameon Pierce before any of those guys on the screen.
I hear you. You got to go with the guys you think are going to get the touches, like you said. So that's going to be important. And, there's some other guys, too, that are rookies who haven't got to show themselves yet, where, like, the Christian Watsons of the world with Green Bay, where I think, if he's got a hold of the offense and we know they have some receiver questions there, he could be a guy that kind of jumps on the scene as well. So, Pickens – I have a hard time getting behind that because, like you said, it's Najee Harris touches. Those two other receivers are damn good. They got a good tight end. So that'll be hard that way.
By the way, Dameon Pierce, 22-1 plus 2,200. That won't last. He will, I believe, go higher and higher because people will realize there's an opportunity. There's value there. Everybody's always looking for value. And if you want to get good odds, get them now because I think they're going to change. All right, today's draft. Biggest August risers doesn't have to just be rookies. It can be. It can be older players. It can be second-year players. It can be anybody who is using August so far to their advantage. And we have a trivia question. Ooh, I'm glad I'm asking you because I have no idea what the answer to this is. Which running back led the NFL in rushing yards preseason 2021?
Oh.
He's been in the news this month.
Damn. Well, I was going to pick Ramondre Stevenson from the Patriots, so I'll just go with that.
Wow.
Boom.
You've got it.
Well,
Boom.
Remember, he showed off in the preseason last year. In one of the games, he had like a 90-yard touchdown run, right? So that was the only run I could remember from last preseason, and that's why I went with it. So, I got lucky there, but that's a rookie. It's not a veteran or a guy that's a proven commodity. It's almost always a young guy.
Josh Jacobs.
Well, yeah. He's learning the hard way. It's not always an easy path when it's year 4 in the NFL. All right. I don't know who I'm going to go with here. You know who I'm going to go with? Because I'm going to go with the first pick in the draft, Trayvon Walker. I am. Yes. Oh, no, he doesn't get enough sacks in college. And, you and I, we beat that horse to death in telling everybody he wasn't asked to do that in college. In fact, I wonder how good Georgia's defense would have been if they just let guys fly at the quarterback. But to me, he's already silenced anything that anybody was worried about, whether he could rush the quarterback. He's had a sack in both games and been close on a bunch of other plays, too, to where you just go, it's inevitable. Jacksonville, not saying they should have taken him over Aiden Hutchinson, who also looks good, but he's certainly looking like they're justified in taking him number 1 with the way he looks on the field. So I'm hoping that quiets the haters of the world there on that pick, and they realize that this kid's the real deal.
Well, I got to take then one of the guys we already talked about in George Pickens. I thought you'd take him first because he really has.
Yeah, he has, right.
Emerged in August. And to create buzz at Steelers camp is hard to do. The whole thing is set up for no one to create buzz. It's old school. It's Latrobe. It's team, not me. And when you got the quote like the one we played earlier from Deontay Johnson just going on and on about this guy, I mean, the secret is out. It's over. George Pickens is going to be in a position to do some special things as of week 1. He already is. My only concern is there's one football, and I don't think the Steelers are going to completely revamp their offense just to force feed the ball in George Pickens' direction. Although, if he's only getting single coverage, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's Randy Moss in 1998. Again, there's a long way to go to be anywhere close to being compared to Randy Moss, but when you have a special talent like that, who can deal with single coverage and is going to be always open in single coverage, why aren't you calling an audible and getting him the football if they're going to just dare you to throw it to him?
Yeah, I hear you. You're right. I mean, they're going to have some flexibility there with matchups. And, yeah, I'm not going to put him in Randy Moss's class quite yet, but, yes, he's been the most buzzy guy throughout training camp, and it's not really even close. I mean, it's not. It's been almost from
on the team least likely to create a buzzy player.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So again, I mean, you live close to there, so I let you have that, and just trying to be a nice guy to your Steeler fans there.
Thank you.
All right, this is where it gets a little. I'm gonna go with Tyquan Thornton from the New England Patriots. I've heard buzz about him, and he looked good the other night against the New York Giants too. And not necessarily that he's buzz every day, but I think it's buzz in the fact that everybody thought, me included, that was too high to be drafted at that spot. And there's the Patriots and first and second round receivers, they're sucky ducky at picking them. Holy crap. Well, I don't know. From what you read up there and then what I see there, good luck pressing that guy because he's going to run by just about anybody. So, I think he's at least silenced the haters of the Patriots draft pick a little bit here early on.
All right, Pete said that we can do second-year players if we choose, and I'm going to go Travis Etienne, another Jacksonville player, a first-rounder last year, suffered the torn ACL. You've got Trevor Lawrence saying it's like Clemson all over again. You've got Doug Peterson, when he was asked, are you going to move this guy all over the field? He says maybe. Maybe means yes. This guy's a weapon. This guy potentially opens up that offense and allows us to do all sorts of things. There's a familiarity to Lawrence. Last year, I remember it was the gut punch when he was gone for the year.
Right.
In what was a year-long flurry of gut punches for the Jaguars, most of them self-inflicted by Urban Meyer. But now he's back. He's healthy. And obviously he's made some buzz already, and I can't wait to see what he does week one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got the Alvin Kamara-ish type skill set that we've talked about that could be definitely a mismatch issue. And I'm excited to see what he's got. He's certainly in the game, got some explosion, and can get to that line of scrimmage in a hurry. He does look smaller than I expected, but again, he's not going to be, I think, a bell cow between the tackles, 28 carries a game type of guy. He's going to be more like the Alvin Kamara. A few runs there, screens, split him out receiver, do all of that, and he certainly created some buzz. I think I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce, the guy we talked about, early on. I mean, Dameon Pierce, from really the get-go, you heard same kind of things, not maybe George Pickens-ish, but impressed everybody, and to the point where, they gave Marlon Mack a little bit of money to be the starter, but I just think, it's so apparent to me when you turn on the film of the game last week that he's clearly their best running back. And, again, I don't know if they let the veterans start the game and Marlon Mack just to let him be the starter, and they might trust him in pass protection, but I'd be shocked if this guy doesn't get the majority of the carries. And really, actually, I think I'd be shocked if he isn't the starting running back in general.
Last one for me, and I don't want to make life for our friend Mike Vrabel any more complicated, but you made the point earlier this week. Malik Willis gets yanked during a drive. Let's calm this down. Let's not have Ryan Tannehill be threatened in this position, but he was the guy that was the betting favorite to be the first quarterback drafted. Even though he fell to round 3, it had greater buzz to it. There's a sense of anticipation that Malik Willis is eventually going to ascend to that throne, and I think that only has increased. I know Ryan Tannehill's had a good camp, but they're going to have a handoff. They're going to have a transition at some point. It may be before Ryan Tannehill wants it, but I feel like Malik Willis already proving that he can be the guy to make a difference for the Titans offense. And it's kind of like Alex Smith and Patrick Mahomes in this one way. You get to a point where you feel like your current quarterback is taking you as far as he's ever going to.
Yeah, I hear you.
And he's never going to get you any farther. And
right.
If we're ever going to get farther than divisional round, we need a different quarterback. And maybe that's how those 3 interceptions from last year resonate into the draft, resonate into 22, and maybe set the stage for Malik Willis to be the guy by next year.
I really like the way he looked. That's all I can say. I know it wasn't perfect. He watched the rush a little bit, definitely. There was a few receivers he missed open. But again,
well, think about it. The guy played at
exactly.
Liberty. Would you not watch the rush the first time you got NFL guys coming after you?
And it's the Ravens of all teams, where you're just going, oh gosh, there's just more killers on the field than I've ever seen in my life, and they're all coming after me. So exactly, that's where I was going with that. It's understandable. And he had to start the game. He started the game. That's the emotions of that. And my father even was talking about this on the podcast the other day. Yeah, you're at practice, and I'm going to get reps with the first team, and so we're going to start the game. Man, When you break that huddle for the first time and all of a sudden the crowd and, whoa, you see the guys and it's just like, you can get underneath the center and go like, what play did I just call? Hold on, I got to remember what the hell the play was, because your mind starts going, whoa, I'm in the NFL. Whoa, this is crazy. Holy crap, he's big. Whoa, they look like they're going to blitz. And so it's not easy. It can be overwhelming. But, man, the way he looked, like you said, Mike, and I'm glad you picked him because I should have picked him. His physical ability does pop off the screen. He belongs, and I think he really fits a style of football that they want to play in Tennessee. Run the ball, quarterback run, play action, 25-yard laser to the left, 50-yard post down the middle. They're not looking to play like we're going to drop back 45 times and be the Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs. That's not the style of play, so he really fits it from that standpoint.
The way you described his debut, it made me think of that great scene in Invincible, the movie about Vince Papale, when he's out there on the field the first time. And they did a great job of conveying how overwhelming it really can be.
Right.
And, he's working his way through that now, and he'll be ready to go if he's called upon this year due to injury or ineffectiveness, or if they decide to have a changing of the guard for 2023.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.